color commentator for the Prince Albert Raiders, and an absolute stick when it comes to the golf course, Martin Ring. Martin, I ran up to you last night after a few pints, and you were just getting done. I was like, hey, you want to come on the show tomorrow? I was like, absolutely. Thanks for making some time today.
No problem, Barney. Thanks for asking me.
Okay. Last night, first off, I went up there because I wanted to experience it. I wanted to be there. Harry and I were talking. You get those small Sasky rinks or the small barns. It just, the atmosphere is a lot different than even a big, 15,000, 18,000, Montreal maybe aside, because that looks crazy. But the atmosphere, everything. And Martin, I thought that game, because I'm comparing it to the 2017 Regina Pats Seattle series, which I thought was some of the best hockey I've ever watched, if not the best hockey. I thought it was faster last night, physical. Yes, the DuPonts out there and the Bear, I thought those Euros for Everett, the hockey though, it's hard to put, you can watch it on TV, but it's hard to put or tell people how fast it was.
I agree 100%. I mean, it's just taken up another notch here as we get into the WHL, obviously, championship final. We had a tremendous series against Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat had, some studs in their lineup that we had to find a way to work around. But, you get into this WHL championship final. Everett is absolutely a fantastic hockey team. Both teams are built very, very similar. They're extremely deep. They're both running 4 lines. You would be hard pressed if I was to ask you without looking at a program, who are our 16-year-olds? And you would be hard pressed to point them out.
Yeah, totally correct. You were there in 2019, obviously. Do you feel it's just ratcheted up a bit even this year now that we're into 2026?
It's different. There are 2 teams that were built differently. It was interesting. We had Zach Hayes pregame last night, was in the building, and he was one of the assistant captains for that particular season. And the defensive core for that 2019 team were just absolutely punishing. They would finish every check. They would just put you right through the boards. The defensive core this year is, I'm going to call them more mobile. They're the puck movers. That's what the NHL is referring to them as. They get the puck moving. They get the puck moving up ice. They can finish their checks. There's no doubt, but it's different. It's just a little bit different style.
Just switching gears to the other side of the ice. Of course, everybody's talking about Seattle's prospect Minden. What is he? How close is he to being NHL ready? And where are the gaps in his game if he has any?
I don't know that he's got any gaps from what I've seen. I mean, he has been a beast in this series. It seems like every time he's on the ice, he's touching the puck. He's hard to knock off the puck. He plays with that edge. He took a little extra shot at Sievertson when he got knocked down in front of the Everett bench. That was a pretty bad hit, but nonetheless, he plays with that edge. Boy, I'll tell you, I think he's really close to taking that next step.
And then Van Hanen, how about him? He's
thing. He is the next thing. Van Hanen is a beast as well for Everett. Like a lot of these guys, they've got that great size, they've got great skills, they move extremely fast, and then you throw in Carter Bear and you throw in Landon DuPont on the back end. Like DuPont is fun to watch. It's almost hard to believe we're going to get another year to watch him for sure.
You're exactly right, and but obviously. The Raiders as well. They have some good young kids like that Cripps kid. I still can't believe he's 16. He's in that doing what he's doing. And then also Martin. I know he kind of had his coming out party at the World Juniors. Michael Orsulak last night. The real deal. I talking to a couple guys this morning. I think there was that save in the third period where he stretched out and he had his pad. And I was with Kelly Taylor, Tedorenko, and Jacobson in there, and Berkeley Catton. He's like, how did he just save that? That guy, he's the real deal, man.
He is. It was fun to watch him. It was fun to watch him progress from the start of the season when he got that invite to go to the World Juniors, and then obviously at the World Juniors he took another step. It was pretty neat watching the World Juniors. Here's Mikhail Orshulek, playing for Czechia, and he's got the Raider mask on. He doesn't have the local country mask on. He's got that Raider mask, and when he came back to the Art Hauser after the World Juniors, I mean, obviously he was in goal and he beat Team Canada. He knocked Team Canada out of contention for that gold medal. You couldn't wipe the smile off his face, but he's 6'4". He covers the net incredibly well. And to your point, that save that he made for him to read that wraparound and then kick that leg back, jams it up against the post. It was absolutely incredible. We've seen it out of him all year, though.
Is there anything about this series that surprised you, or anything you're waiting to have happen that hasn't happened yet in terms of how it's gone?
That's a great question. Obviously the Raiders felt a little bit of adversity last night with the absence of Daxon Rudolph. 1 game suspension picked up, in the second game of the series. I think the Raiders still. I don't think we've seen their true potential yet. I don't think we've seen their true scoring power, their true scoring punch, and yet it's spread throughout. It's all 4 lines. They don't lean down on 5 or 6 players. We saw the last couple of shifts of the game there last night. It was the 4th unit was out on the ice. We had Hubert Clark, who hasn't played a game all playoffs, was still getting a regular shift. He was playing with Brock Cripps, so I mean they were making sure he was going to get some ice time, but he didn't look out of place. And it's hard because we don't get to see Everett that often. We played Everett back in November. We beat them in their own building. There was talk that some players were sick for that particular evening, but nonetheless, we only get to see them once every 2 years live, and they're pretty special.
I don't know how we're gonna wrap this up in we got about 1 minute and 20 seconds here, but then I find out, I'm like, a lady with the last name Ring is singing the anthem. I wonder that's your mother singing the anthem last night, which the crowd just took. I played it off the hop. It was amazing. And then legendary billet family, I'm told. Did your mom billet Mike Modano and Leon Draisaitl? Different times, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, she billeted mom and dad when my dad was still alive, had billeted Mike Modano. So Mike Modano came into the house on my wife and myself on our wedding anniversary. Mike walks in with his suitcase, and that was our first meeting of Mike Modano. But yeah, so Mike Modano billeted with mom and dad. They took a bit of a break. They were doing some travel, and unfortunately, my dad passed away, and my mom got back into billeting again. And one of the second or third players that came in, Leon Draisaitl, and the rest is history.
What's the best Leon Draisaitl story from billeting him that your mom could tell?
Oh my God, biggest thing with Leon, hockey. It is nothing but hockey. He would get up in the morning, TV was on, he was checking out what happened in hockey last night. It was hockey all the time.
Oh, geez.
Good kid.
The stories, I'm sure, and Mike Modano's my favorite player of all time, so I could sit here for an hour and ask you questions. Mark, good luck tonight. I'll be watching. Very, very interesting to see Rudolph back in the lineup, how things turn. And then quickly, Cook's opening this weekend, Martin. Looks juicy or what?
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It's actually opening a day earlier. It's opening tomorrow morning. I've got a booking at 11:30. I get a chance to get out there. But I can hardly wait. Obviously, Cook Municipal, home of the Northerns. We've got them all for ladies, men's, seniors. It's a great venue.
Great tournaments up there for sure. And I say top 5 courses in all of Saskatchewan.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. Love it's one of the sneaky good things about going up in June is you always stop at Cook and get around it. Martin, let's do this again. Good luck tonight, of course, and appreciate you hopping on.
Great. Thank you very much. Thanks for touching base with me last night.
Yeah.